Most people out there are afraid to fully utilize the best years of their life. The years between about 18 and 25 are arguably some of the most powerful in any person's life. If we have a think about what happens in this time frame, we unlock our adult abilities, we can do what we want, go where we like, we can't be limited by anybody else. At the same time, the society expects less of us, which means that we have an increase in freedom and people still don't expect very much. And you guys know this is true. In this age range, you're still probably a student, you might work a part-time job, you might not even be doing too much at all. These are the most powerful years in your entire life because the responsibilities on you are relatively low. People don't expect much from people in this age. At the same time, most people are afraid to utilize these ideas and these years. I want to take some time today to film a video based on something that I was inspired by in the real world. Because a lot of my videos are inspired by things that I've seen and places that I've been and people who I've spoken to. And this is another example of this. Because I've known of people who had every opportunity for success on the table and still let it fly by them. Before we actually talk about that part of the topic, we need to first discuss what success actually is. Some of you guys may look at a channel like mine and watch some of my videos and think, you're not successful yourself, so how can you talk to anybody about success? And this is where my opinion might vary from others. I really do believe that success is a very, very subjective thing. I think that to some people, having a stable job, good career progression, and just living like that is going to make them super, super happy. Some people are not going to be happy by that at all. I've known people with good jobs, good pay, they're happy. I've known people with low amounts of money, but they work a simple job and they enjoy it, they're happy. I've known people who travel a lot, and they're just happy with that. The truth is, in my opinion at least, as long as you're not a burden to somebody else, you can just live your life however you want. If you can pay your bills, pay your rent, pay your taxes in some way, it's not my job to talk about career progression or anything like that. Do what you want. And this brings us back to the actual definition of success. Success is what makes you happy. And a lot of you guys know what makes you happy. A lot of you guys know what's going to make you happy throughout your whole life. And whilst you may never achieve your dreams, I'm told in the comment section all the time that the chances of me making a 6-figure business, 7-figure business are very unlikely. I'm told that the chances of me getting 10,000, 100,000 subscribers are very unlikely. I've got nothing to lose. Because at this age, think about it. Everything could go wrong, and there's still jobs available. If I realise that I've messed up at age 25, that's still fairly young. And going back to the topic of these being the golden years, this is why. Nobody expects anything. You may live for cheaply at your parents' house, in a house share, in student accommodation, in a cheap rundown flat. You live as cheaply as you may ever live. You've got less responsibilities from career, maybe family commitments, wife, children. You're not going to have those likely at this age range. You've got less to worry about than ever, and than you may ever have in the future. And yet so many people throw this away. And you see it get thrown away, I think, in two different ways. The first way is a type of person who simply just does nothing. And I've known of people like this. Like I say, they had everything lined up for them to do what they want. But a lot of the time, the reason why they don't is because of the pressure. You see, when you think about how life is undeniably structured for the typical system. And we've spoken about this many a time before. The 9 to 5, the mortgage, the 2.5 children, the marriage. This is how life is set up. This is how life is structured. And if you follow this path, whilst you may have some mental resistance between what you want and what's actually happening, life will be as easy as it can be. Business owners, entrepreneurs, digital nomads, whatever you want to call people like this, they all face different challenges. So the world's set up for people who live a certain way. When you go against that cycle, it can seem extremely intimidating. When you say, hey, a job, a 9 to 5 is not what I want to do, and that's all you know, that might seem like a struggle. Because I can say a 9 to 5 is not necessarily what I want to do, but I have this stream of income, and now I'm making money. That's me, I actually am. But if you didn't know what I knew, or if you weren't doing what I was doing, you may find yourself in a challenging situation, because how do you go about breaking that cycle? How do you go about breaking out of a system when you don't have any means to? That's why I think most people give up, because they don't understand the power that they actually have. Learn, learn, learn. Try everything is what I would say as some advice. The second type of people who fall, I would say, out of love with life at this age are the people who do things for the status quo. And I don't say they do them because they want to. I don't say they do them because it's what sits right with them, even morally or spiritually. They do it because parents want them to. They do it because school wants them to. But the truth of it is this. As much as I and you guys should appreciate what your parents have done for you, the reality of life is you build your journey. You build your journey. And it is very, very intimidating going it against the beliefs and aims maybe that society had set out for you, maybe that your parents had set out for you, maybe that the society and the culture has set out for you in general. But you have to chase these aims, or try, in this age range. Now, going back to why these are the most important and most powerful years, are because you have the ability to fail and come back easily. You guys already know, realistically, to have a relatively okay life at this age range, how much money do you need saved up? Could you save up 10 grand, 15, 20 grand and live for a year? Whether it's in your small flat, whether it's with parents, whether it's with friends? You can earn that in a year, then have a year to experiment with business or travel or anything like that. The funny thing though is, you need to find, and this is the crux of the issue, we're coming to a point here, and this is how you unlock this. You need to find what makes you tick. What inspires you. The truth is, even if you don't make it, even if you do not achieve, we will say that by 25 you give up, let's say, and you go back to making a job work, or a 9 to 5, or whatever you want to call it. At least you can say you've tried. Now, so many people are so afraid to even try. They don't understand the power that they are holding. And, like I say, at this age range, it's important to pick on something, discover something that works for you. And I don't just mean in the world of money and business. People say that if you don't have X amount of money or a job in this field, you're not successful. The truth about success goes back to what I mentioned a couple of minutes ago. It's not all about money. I know people who are broke and I'd consider them to be successful. Maybe I've just got a warped worldview, but let me explain why I think this. I know some people who are the social fabric of everywhere they go. If you're at an event or somewhere with this person, they'll be the facilitator. There'll be no awkward moments. There'll be no issues, anything like that. You'll be able to meet loads of new people through this person's influence. I know some people who are super good at playing the guitar, and they really love that. I know people who do nothing but travel, and they don't do it expensively. They come back here to work maybe every month or 2 months. Obviously, it's a very special setup if you can live like that, but these people are all successful. The people who do nothing are the people who are worth considering about when we speak about a subject like this. And this is where I worry for a number of people going forwards. Because say what you want about me, I will be fine. And people might say that's a big-headed view, or that's an arrogant view, or that's a naive view. How can you say you'll be fine? Because I know me, right? And even if you don't think I'll be fine, I'll say this, guys. Please worry about you. I'll worry about me. You guys can worry about you. Even if my businesses fail, I've got a lot of money in savings now. I'm not going to lie, I have. I've got a job, as time is. I've got social connections and friends. I will be fine. Don't worry about me. Worry about you guys. Now, bringing this back onto you guys. You need to try, if you can, to figure out what works for you. And the truth is, when I speak to all sorts of people, they actually know. Most people have a rough idea what they want. So, whatever that is, it's time to make something work. And that starts with trying. You want to make a YouTube video, put one up. If you want to play guitar, see how you can teach people on YouTube, right? Can you teach people for money how to play the guitar? All these sorts of things are potentially marketable skills. But it starts by putting yourself out there. And all of the people, maybe this is just in the experience that I've seen, but all of the people who do not know what they want to achieve are generally the people who haven't, and I don't say it to be rude, I say it as a matter of fact, lived very much. And this is not meant to be an insult, but they've not travelled, they've not seen many things, they've not had different days, they've not, had good days, bad days, experiences in this front, that front. Go and experience some things. You've always wanted to join a club about this, join it. You don't know who you might meet and what might come from that. Or you always want to travel to this place, find a way to facilitate it, right? That puts it in very black and white terms, but there is something to be said for that as a beginning step. But a lot of you guys watching now may be sat here knowing that there's something specific that you want to do. I don't know what that is. You guys might not know what that is, in which case I recommend, like I say, try different things. If you don't know what you do want, try things that you don't like, and then you'll realise why. But yeah, most people, I feel, just live this existence of not achieving much, and I think it comes from not building results when they can. And if you're my age, younger or older, you've got a lot of energy, you've got low responsibilities, you've got time to think, and that's just the truth. Why not use some of that and see what it is that you might want to achieve? Thank you, and I hope I'll see you again. I hope this one was useful, or at least inspired some thought. Thanks, I'll see you soon.